Hello children, today we are back with the verb and verb forms. Basically, we had spoken about what are verbs previously, then we had explained the various forms of verbs, right, if you remember. And today we have come up with the ways the verb forms can be changed. Alright, many of you had many queries regarding how we are going to change the various forms of verbs, like in most cases what we are doing to change the past form into past participle forms. So this video is for that. So let's start. Basically here we had told you that in some cases the past form and the past participle forms remain the same, right? But there are some other exceptions as well. Before we know this, we should be knowing what are irregular verbs. So what are irregular verbs, children? Basically we know that a verb is a doing or a being word. For example, sit, talk, eat, think and feel, right? A verb tense tells us when the action or state described by the verb happened. Definitely it tells us when a particular thing happened, right? So the three main verb tenses, they are speaking about the tenses out here, which are present tense, past tense and future tense, right? While most verbs form different tenses according to an established formula. Yes, yesterday I had uploaded that video on verb forms and you had some confusions regarding that. And to clear that confusion, the main thing that I would say out here is we use an established formula. There is a formula, a basic formula for everything. For English grammar as well, we have a formula. So there is a formula which is used to change these past tense into past participle tenses or forms of verbs. See, some verbs do not form their tenses in a regular way and they are called irregular verbs. So the verbs which follow this particular formula, the particular pattern, are called regular verbs, and the verbs which do not form or follow these formulas or patterns are known as irregular verbs. And these changes will be made by these irregular verbs. So how do irregular verbs work? See, when we put a verb into the past tense, we usually add the suffix d, ed or ied. For example, see, there is a table given out here, present tense and past tense. See, most verbs form the past tense by adding ed, like walk becomes walked, answer becomes answered, borrow becomes borrowed, listen becomes listened, play becomes played. So in most of the verb forms we change it into past tense by adding ed to it. Next is verb with a short vowel ending in a consonant form. The past tense by doubling the consonant before adding ed. Okay. So pat becomes patted, which means, see, there's a short vowel. A is a short vowel out here and there's a T, a consonant before, after that. So we are going to double the consonant. So we are going to double the T. See, patted. Fit becomes fitted. Stop becomes stopped. Pet becomes petted. And step becomes stepped. Alright, we are just doubling the consonant before adding ed to it. Next is verbs that end in e form the past tense by adding d. The verb forms which end with e form the past tense by adding d to it. Like hope becomes hoped, announce becomes announced, bounce becomes bounced, raise becomes raised, share becomes shared. Alright. Now see, verbs that end in y form the past tense by changing the y into I and adding d. Like hurry becomes hurried, worry becomes worried, cry becomes cried, copy becomes copied and rely becomes relied. So I think this basic thing is clear to you, right? Now let us read some other things written about this. See this. Some verbs are irregular and do not follow this pattern but form their past tense in a particular way by changing a vowel. For example, by changing the vowel, we would be changing that into the past participle form. Next, sometimes their past participle is the same as the past tense as in the regular verb, but sometimes it differs. Okay, the past participle in below, there will be some charts given. There will be some things in blue color. Those are the ones that would differ from their past tense of the verb. Alright. So let's move on to the next clip and let's see what is given exactly about that. So now see this. Verb, past tense and past participle. 3 columns are there. Verbs ending in ay. Pay becomes paid. Okay, and it remains paid. Say becomes said and it remains said in the past participle form as well. Lay becomes laid in both the past tense and past participle forms. So verbs which end with ay will not change their forms in past and past participle forms. Okay, now the double vowel, there are some vowels, there are some verbs where you will find some double vowels and they would be changing into single vowel. See, shoot becomes shot and it remains like that in the past participle form as well. Choose, chose, and it becomes chosen. Why? I will tell you. In most of the cases, in past participle form, we use the words has or had before the forms of verbs. So, if we say had chose, it is very bad. It looks very bad and it's not correct. Grammatically, it's wrong. So, when we use had, we have to add another N to it. So, I hope this part is clear to you. Now, moving on to the next one. A change of vowel. No becomes new and it becomes known in the past participle form. So, when we see there is a change in the vowel in the past form, we would have to change that in the past participle form as well. Rise becomes rose and then it becomes risen. Ride, rode, ridden. Sing, sang, sung. Come, came, come. Give, gave, given. These are all a part of the formula, rule that is given in English grammar. Okay, that is how we change these things. Verbs ending in EEP change to EPT. These are some of the basic rules. Okay, I remember some of you have asked me why it is changing like this. How will we understand it is changing like this? So these are the rules that you need to follow in order to change them. So see, sleep becomes slept and it remains slept. Weep, wept, wept. Keep, kept, kept. Alright. So the past participle of a verb is used to describe an action that has completed in the past using the past perfect tense. Example, the floor has been swept. Alright. Next is to write a sentence in the passive voice. The jacket was torn by Lois. Basically, passive voice is not necessary for you. You won't be understanding. But see the next point. It is written as an adjective. Nothing can mend my broken heart. Here, heart is the noun and broken is the word describing it. So it is an adjective. Alright. So these are the basic rules to say precisely. Now moving on to the part in your book. See, here are some basic forms, some present participle forms, past forms and past participle forms. Let's check the ones which will be same with the past forms. Okay. See, walk becomes walking in present participle form and it remains same in both past and past participle form and remains walked. Okay. Play, playing, played, played. Cry, crying, cried, cried. Buy, buying, bought, bought. Clear? Now here is something like as we have followed in the rule, there are some past participle forms which are different from the past forms. What are they? Sing. Sing becomes singing, sang and sung. Alright. Sing becomes singing, sung and sang. Ring, ringing, rang, rung. Then run, running, run, ran, run. Fly, flying, flew, flown. Alright. So these are a part of the things that we had just learned in the rules. Alright. Now moving on to the exercise. We have to do this exercise given below. Now let's do that. But before that, children, I hope you have understood the rules and the way it is written in this page. Okay, if you have any problem, please let me know. Before this, before starting the exercise, we can see there's a box given out here and we have to use this box, the words given in the box to fill up the table which would be given in the exercise. So let's start. Alright, so I've already done the exercise so that you can understand. So see, to make you understand this in a better way, see this, I have written it already. there are three basic columns: basic form, past form and past participle forms. Now see, eat becomes ate and it becomes eaten in the past participle form. Alright, eat always becomes ate in the past form. Now know becomes knew and then it eventually transfers into becoming known in the past participle form. Fall becomes fell and fallen. Drive becomes drove and driven. Okay, drive, drove, driven. Begin becomes began and then it becomes begun. Okay, A is replaced by U. Forget becomes forgotten, forgot and forgotten. Forget becomes forgot and double T is added. See, one T is given, consonant before the before that the vowel is given, so double T. You had read this in the rules, right? Then bite becomes bit and bitten. Yes, in some cases we also omit the vowel in the last letter. Okay, so in the last we have seen there's an E which is a vowel, so we have omitted that and the word becomes bit, B-I-T, bit, and then it is transferred or it changes into bitten, B-I-T-T-E-N, bitten in the past participle form. So the next word is blow. Blow becomes blew. See, in every case the vowel is being replaced by another vowel. So blow becomes blew and it becomes blown. So see, whenever we are changing the vowel, we are also adding N to the last letter and then we are changing it into the past participle form. Have you noticed this? Okay, now the next one. Tear becomes tore, then it becomes torn. Okay, next shake becomes shook and shaken. Grow becomes grew and grown. See, again vowel is changed and we add N to the word, to the basic form to make it past participle form. Show becomes showed. Yes, W is there, so ED, and then it becomes shown. N, the word N, the letter N comes after and replaces ED. Come, came, come. Yes, there are certain things like this also, like in special cases like come, it remains same. The past participle form and the basic forms remains the same. Alright. Now the next one is freeze, double E. So it will become froze and it will be frozen. Write, wrote and written. Again T is there, T is a consonant, so we will repeat that and it will be written. Alright. So children, I know this is very confusing, but I would suggest you to go through the video twice or thrice to understand the basic rules. These rules are not given in your book and I have arranged this from somewhere, so I would want you to go through the rules properly, understand, listen to the video properly, listen to the audio, focus on the audio, listen to it, see the things that are written in the clips and understand it better. Okay, because this is very difficult and if you don't realize the importance of this chapter, you will never understand the chapter. Alright, so I would want you to see the video twice or thrice to understand it in a proper way, full-fledged way. And that's it for today. I hope you understand the video properly. If you have any doubt anywhere, any query, tell me in the comment section. You can mail me also. You can do anything, but please let me know so that I can understand that you haven't understand a portion and I will explain it again. If you have any problem, tell me, I'll explain it again. Okay, till then, take care. Bye bye. Lots of love.